I don't have to say much more about this project, and it's already been listed on the screen and from the people in the audience. And as John just stated, which is what was rolling around in my mind, is that this was once known as a premier artist community, but it's kind of lost its luster over the years. And if you read any of the artist magazines today, you don't see Scottsdale mentioned like it was many years ago. So to me, this project is going to put Scottsdale back on the map as an artist community, and that's, I think, a wonderful thing to happen, because it's very, very important to me that this be an artist community, as well as this project will provide so much support to the current artists, the current galleries, the merchants, the surrounding businesses. This is a great project for that part of downtown. So this is a great project, quality design, great imaginative thought about how to put together a project that can enhance an arts district and can improve upon the artist school and the Sagebrush Theater and all the other amenities that are in the area, the Museum of the West. I mean, how can you not say enough about a great project, other than I think it's important that we do recognize the work of this developer and the team and their ability to bring a project to Scottsdale, and I'm thankful for that. So with that, I'd like to make a motion. I move to approve item number 15 and adopt resolution number 11566, ordinance number 4428, resolution number 11600, resolution number 11599, resolution number 11601, and resolution number 11602, after determining that the zoning district map amendment is consistent and conforms with the adopted general plan, and finding that the planned block development overlay district criteria have been met.
Second. Oh, did you second it?
Motions are made by Councilwoman Clapp and seconded by Councilwoman Milhaven. Would you like to speak toward it?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. What an historic evening. It's unbelievable that a project of this magnitude comes forward without a single voice in opposition. So this is quite extraordinary. I share the enthusiasm of all the speakers around the impact this is going to have on the arts and culture in our community. Mr. McDonald, you were very gracious earlier in the evening to thank us for our patience. I thank you for your patience, sir. I can't imagine a developer who could have been more patient or more responsive to the concerns of the neighbors and to negotiate with a 7-member board. God help you, sir. Right? Each of us bring our own points of view and our own thoughts and the needs of our own constituents, and can be very challenging to work with a 7-person body. So, sir, thank you very much for your patience. And thank you for choosing Scottsdale. I can't imagine a developer who could build us a better project than we know that you can, sir. So thank you. Also to Swebeck Partners and John Densack, how exciting to have such a recognized architectural firm build us. We talk about iconic projects and iconic architecture, and that's exactly what we're going to get here. So thank you. I am so very excited. As folks may know, before I was on council, I spent 10 years on the board of Scottsdale Arts and was their chair for 3 years, and so I'm very aware of the importance of arts and culture in our community, and not just from the Performing Arts Center, but across the community. And thank you, Mr. Bruner, for a little history lesson to really tell us that it's back to our roots. And so I know how important this is to our community, and so excited about what it'll do to revitalize the arts. And to the Sagebrush folks, I'm so excited. It wasn't too many years ago when I helped you over a little bump. There was some question about the lease and whether or not they could stay, and I was so excited to work with you to help you stay in the place, and what an exciting day today to take it to the next level, so your future is even more assured than it was. So I'm very excited to see you included in this project. I do, though, want to comment a little bit on the politics of this project. And so if folks are watching, what we're in short doing tonight is we are selling this city-owned property to McDonald Communities for them to build this project, and we're doing the zoning that makes the project possible. And if you were watching earlier, you saw that we are spending $7 million to build additional parking. We've reduced the sales price, so we're essentially spending $7 million to build parking that not a single parking study supports. the project already over parks itself. All the trends in parking say that as rideshare becomes more and more prevalent, we'll need fewer and fewer parking spaces. But the majority of the council has agreed with their constituents that this parking is necessary. I don't necessarily agree, but I think on balance, this project still warrants approval. I'm enthusiastically supportive of it. I would like, however, to remind my colleagues that we are demolishing the offices used by the Museum of the West. And during the conversations and the negotiations, it was proposed that we purchase a nearby office condominium to support the Museum of the West. And folks were extremely concerned about investing our money in supporting the Museum of the West. And so I would just like to remind our colleagues that while I don't necessarily agree with spending $7 million for parking we don't need, I hope that you would see the light and use some of the proceeds of this sale to help support the Museum of the West, to replace what's being removed and to assure their continued success. We've heard tonight what an important part they are of this district, and hope that you would continue to support them. So I am a very enthusiastic supporter of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Whitehead.
Well, I am also enthusiastically supporting this project. My first presentation was January 2018 as a candidate, and it has been a hard, long, winding road, but this project exemplifies how Scottsdale rolls. It exemplifies what made Scottsdale the world-class community is, and there are probably only a handful of developers that have the quality and commitment and staff to do what they have done over the last 2 years, to take a cool concept and turn it into what is going to be a world-class project, and to care about this community, put our community over maximizing profits or maximizing speed. The commitment that Rob McDonald and his team have shown just have not gone unnoticed. And I want to thank staff. The City Council has we have a lot on our shoulders. The details matter, not just the cool concept, but at the end of the day, our staff is working into the night to make sure that our public is protected and that in the details. And so I want to sincerely thank all of our staff for getting us here, and I'm looking forward to voting yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Cordy.
Thank you, Mayor. I am and have been all along in total support of this project. And thank you, Mr. McDonald, for your incredible patience. And thank you for bringing together an incredible team. Because it is you and the team that have made this happen. So thank you. I see so many benefits to this project, not only to add to our property tax rolls and rental tax base and bed taxes, but also that it's good for our arts district. It's good for our culture of the arts. It's going to be one of those important components of wayfinding as we build this pedestrian path throughout our old town to connect with Scottsdale Arts and SMOCA to the Museum of the West, grease paint, Stagebrush Theater, and then heading north all the way to Southbridge and soon to be Southbridge 2. You know what good stuff that is, and that only secures the sustainability of our downtown. So thank you for that. My vision, we're adding another approximately 350 units, residential units to our downtown, and really creating a live and play environment in our downtown. But what's missing is the work, because we don't have Class A office space in downtown, and I'm really hoping that this will, shall we say, jumpstart us into better planning for creating Class A office space, so that we can attract those well-paying jobs And so all of the people that live here in Scottsdale can also work here in Scottsdale. And that's what's going to make our old town and our downtown, our old town sustainable into long beyond 2050 and beyond that. So this masterpiece, as Mr. Swabach states, will be the transformational and important, will be the transformational cog, and really is that most important decision to the future of our Scottsdale, our city. So thank all of you for being here. It's amazing. A project of this caliber is 100% approved or 100% supported by everyone in this room, and that just says something for our community, so thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, and Vice Mayor of Littlefield.
Thank you, Mayor. I also support this project, and I'd like to thank both the developer and the staff for working basically around the clock for months to create the project that has been put before us. They've worked through all the issues that were voiced by both the staff and by our residents regarding what might have become some of those unintended consequences due to change. They won't happen now. Thank you, Mr. McDonald, for working with us and for creating an area in Scottsdale to become the new Scottsdale's go-to place for our work, live, and play. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Phillips.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it's my turn, right? Everybody had to say something, so I'll say something. So, Mr. McDonald, thank you very much. If I was you, I would have pulled out a long time ago. I was for this project from the beginning, and then it seemed to be systematically torn apart. And somehow, through staff or you, miraculously, kept plodding along until you finally got it. But I can tell you, nobody's gotten the downtown merchants and the residents and the city council and staff to agree with the project. So this is a milestone right here. And honestly, I can't wait for you to build it. It's awesome. I liked it from the beginning. So thank you very much, and I'll be approving it.
Thank you, Councilman. Well, obviously, I'll make it unanimous. I certainly have been a very strong supporter of this project from the beginning, and it has taken a little bit of a harder road than we maybe first expected. And Frank, it is also a credit to everybody, the entire team, everyone who is involved with this, with regard to the gallery district, the players on the street, within your team, within the city staff, and frankly, even input from this council. But in order to come to grips with some of the things that were brought to our attention, and there's not total of agreement with some of it. But my feeling is this, as far as the parking is concerned, which seems to be the one significant issue, and that is that we'd hope that we'd have more parking than we need than to end up somehow or other with less. And I think we're looking for tremendous success in this area by virtue of everything that's going on here. So we're hoping that it's there for us all the way around. So we're very, very happy. And Mr. McDonald, thank you very much for your patience as well from me, because I just think it's astounding sometimes when you get in the mix of this. Your patience is, you're blessed with patience. I mean, but in any case, thank you very much for what you've done and what your team has brought to the city of Scottsdale. And we do think of this as a straight-up project. I mean, great players, all recognize. But this is simply something that the area has needed for a while. It's funny how things work out. That area has been somewhat, I'd say certainly a laggard in that southwest portion of the downtown envelope, and it's been for years. I think demonstrated by Mr. Berry's talking about the big zero of what it was actually contributing, because it was just city property was not doing anything, and a very valuable area of things. But in the meantime, with the Great Recession, we were able to, and by the vision of great folks in the gallery district who got behind the Museum of the West and frankly, Michael Fox, and of course, Jim Bruner, and the entire crew, and the gallery owners, who knew that that would be an element that would be an attraction to bring in for our entire gallery district. It started out as one element, and I think as Councilwoman Milhaven mentioned too, the idea that it was touch and go as to whether or not we were going to have grease paint and sagebrush stay there. At one point it was condemned. So, I mean, it was ready to go another way altogether. Now we reinvested in it at that time. Of course, the museum with tourism dollars in large part, and another investment. Strong componentry that comes together. Even the Scottsdale School of Art, at a point in time, had a struggling time. This is going through the Great Recession, of course, among other things. So it certainly, it all came together, and I think now with this project, which we're about to approve, and we're hoping very strongly that it gets into motion and does the things that we have been demonstrated here it can do. So it's funny how things work. I think if I were to quote anyone else, it'd be Kevin Maxwell's talk about it's almost worth the price of admission to have Bob Pejman be on board and be happy about it. So I mean that's a cure unto itself. And Bob, if you're still here, I mean I hope you understand that. But in any case, thanks again for what you've done, and frankly, thank you for the staff and all the time that was spent and to bringing us to this point. And I think from what I hear here, we have a unanimous vote on this coming. We'll officially make it right now. Yeah, we do have to vote. And we do have a motion and a second. So all those in favor, please indicate behind. Register your vote. It's unanimous as advertised. So very good. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who contributed by thought and by actions in bringing this together. So thank you again. Thank you.